Hi everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.CA. Today, from the esteemed collection of the big guy, we do have a one-pager on the site describing the recently passed Ford Lincoln dealer, long-time successful Ford Lincoln dealer, I might add, here in the Ottawa area, who left quite a collection of cars to his heirs and successors. The family's decided that some of them it will not get to use, so we have a few of them available on the site. So this is one of them. Despite being a Ford Lincoln dealer, this man originally earned his stripes in the Pontiac Buick world in the 70s. Progressing all the way to general sales manager for another esteemed dealership up here in the Ottawa area. And so the Buicks of the 70s, I presume, had a special place in his heart. And when retirement came for him and he had some time to work on his own and play his own collection and play with some cars, this Riviera is one of the cars he chose. So this is a special Riviera for a number of reasons. It's a 1978, as I mentioned, and as such, it's the last year of rear drive for the Riviera. So you might remember the originals, or say in the 60s, where there were Toronados, Eldorados, and Rivieras sharing the same platform. Well, the Riv at that time was the only one of those which was a rear drive. The other two were front drive, kind of early front drive vehicles for GM. So Riviera switched over to front drive in 1979, which is also a pretty model, but the traditionalists typically like the rear drive models. So this being a 78, it comes from the 75th year of Buick, and as you might expect, never one to miss an opportunity, GM had a special allotment made of these 75th anniversary Rivieras. Originally, it was planned to be 1,000 cars. However, they proved so popular that just under 3,000 were made, and this is one of them. So really, with the mileage this one has, it shows under 34,000 miles. We believe that to be authentic and original. We don't have the paperwork to support it. So we're technically, it's a true mileage unknown car, but a lot of the makings of this car certainly support that it's under 34,000 miles. We've included an appraiser's report on the detailed listing, and he speculates also that it might be original mileage only at under 34,000 miles. So that's a good intro, I think, on this 1978 Buick Riviera with the 75th anniversary package. You can see the clever license plate, Roman numerals for 75, following the 78 model year, of course. And we see the Roman numerals on some other badging on the car, which I will show you. So, all right, we'll take a look around the car and on to the next frame. Okay, so I don't think I mentioned the lot number earlier. This one's going to be lot 251 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. The 1978 Buick Riviera 75th anniversary edition. So it's a two-tone black and silver with a black vinyl roof. We'll cruise in on close to it and get a good look. One thing I'll mention is that the cars from the big guy's collection we're offering are all stored in a dedicated facility and purpose-built, in fact. So they're very well stored in a heated facility. I will mention, though, they were cleaned in January. I'm shooting this video on April 17th, and you can see that the car's a little dusty. So I'd hate to point that out as a flaw, but I will acknowledge it in case you're noticing it through the video. So a few interesting items on this 75th anniversary Buick. It's got special badging, as you see there, on both fenders to denote the 75th anniversary of Buick. And the wheels are 15-inch, and they're skinned in a Cooper Lifeliner tire, Lifeliner Classic. The measurements on those are 225, 75, R15. So square setup, same size at all four corners. and a matching set of both wheels and tires at all four corners. I was just reviewing an appraiser's report, the most recent appraisal that the car's had for insurance purposes, and the appraiser noted that the car's never been winter driven. He also used terms like exceptional and superior in his write-up. So it is an interesting placement in the Buick history, the last year of Riviera. So if someone's looking for a last year rear drive, I might have misspoken and said last year Riviera. Last year rear drive Riviera. This might be the one to have, certainly. The appraiser's report does appear on our detailed listing for lot 251. So going a little further into it, a neat touch in the later 70s premium GM cars, those light up so that the driver can see when his indicator is flashing. Might not fit in Florida. You wouldn't be able to keep driving in the left lane with your blinker on. But a nice touch, certainly a luxurious touch. And here's a good look at the vinyl roof. It is a little dusty, but I don't really see any flaws in this vinyl roof. And that might speak to the likelihood of the under 34,000 mile odometer reading being true and a genuine. And a big rear window for the rear passengers on this two-door, and an R emblem. We see these R emblems throughout. They're on the center caps of each of the wheels. They're also incorporated into the taillight treatment. Here's another wheel to look at. It's matching 15-inch with the Cooper Lifeliner Classics. And this wasn't seen on every car this size in the late 70s. Four-wheel disc brakes, and that was noteworthy enough for Buick to rationalize putting a badge on it to that effect. So working our way back, and there's a good look at the rear window with the vinyl roof. Again, I don't see flaws on the vinyl roof. The car could use a good wash after a winter of storage. And as well as the fender emblems, there's that Buick 75 in Roman numerals, and you can see the R emblem treatments on the tail lights here. And fortunately, the plates can't go with the car under law in Ontario, but 1978 and the Roman numerals for the 75. Bumperettes, so good chrome on both front and rear bumpers, but even the bumperettes and the vinyl treatment on those show very well. The recently passed Ford dealer with a GM background who left this car to his family, he acquired it in Ohio, and so he imported it himself. So a U.S. market car. We'll continue to work our way around. We get to see the two-tone paint in the sun. So black up above, silver through the belt line, and then black on the rockers down below as well. We also see Riviera here on the rub strip. Matching 15-inch wheels here on the rear with those Cooper Lifeliner tires. But a well-presented package all around. One item I did notice earlier when we were doing photos is that the original dealer's logo is on here. You can see Steubenville, Ohio. We also see the matching embossing that we see on all the pieces of glass, leading me to have a hypothesis that this might even be the original glass. Power antenna, you see it right here in the down position, being that the car is not running right now. And here's a good look at the three-quarter view on the front while it's sitting in the sun. So we're getting close to having a good look at the interior of the 1978 Buick Riviera. And before we do, I'm realizing there's one item of importance I left out here on the exterior. The one flaw I do find in the paint is here on the passenger side. I do see a bit of bubbling happening. I did check the driver's door. We'll go over and take a look, but I didn't see it there. But we do see it here on the upper frame of the passenger door. But let's take a look at the driver door, where we don't see any evidence of anything similar. A lot cleaner over here. So let's move on to the interior. There are some goodies over on the passenger side. We'll walk over and take a look at those directly. But gray interior. Well, we've got the exterior two-tone black and silver. I suppose we could say it's matching. We've got higher content of gray on the leather seats with the black piping. So a smart compliment, I guess I'll say. We do notice just a bit of wear here on the driver's seat, but only on this driver's seat. You see the old body by Fisher emblem. I think we saw those with GM through about 1983, so a very familiar piece to see on that door sill. We've got the contrast as well with the floor mats. You can see with that R emblem, these are Riviera floor mats, and I suspect they might be original given the black and silver theme of the car. I won't put my name on that though, so don't quote me on that, but certainly the Riviera floor mats, and the carpet underneath is really presentable still. And even the vinyl covering for the rest protection for the foots while using the pedals. Get that back into place. That mat could use a good vacuum, but otherwise in nice condition. Well-optioned car, as you might expect for the Rivs. We've got power seat, several controls there. That's for mirror, windows here, and then power locks here. Familiar controls for those familiar with the 1970s and early 80s Buick rear drive cars. Climbing in, this steering wheel is an indication that we've got not so much of a regular unit with the 3-spoke style. Leather wrapped, as I say, with the 3 spokes. Instrumentation, we've got the speedometer, maxing out at 85 miles per hour, which would have been federally mandated in 1978 in the US. Again, this is a US model car. And we see the odometer checking in at under 34,000 miles. Believed original, but we cannot substantiate it. And there's a good look at the gear shift indicator. And then on the right, the larger gauge for the fuel. Wipers and lights to the left. And then, again, a little more premium than your typical 78 GM product. Similar fonts, though, that very familiar to me being around these cars at the time. But AC, and it's even got the climate control settings. And this is a remote mirror for the driver, or for the passenger side. Controls right there, and a defrost. And an AM FM stereo, so you switch AM and FM with this switch here. But better than that, it's got an 8-track player as well. And there's a good look at the 75. So down here, the owner's just has a little cup holder contraption, and even it's got a little bit of storage in there. So not a stock item, but certainly useful. So we'll call this a 60-40. Oh no, I guess we'll call it a 50-50 split bench. You can see there's a split between the two. And dual armrests, one for each side between passenger and driver. There are 3 belts in the front though, so we can legitimately call this a 6-passenger car. Here's a good look at the rear seat. There is the matching Riviera mats in here. There's just some winter mats here to protect those, but there's the black with the R to denote the Riviera, and three-seater back here as well, so with the middle belt. One minor flaw I'll say is the map pockets. They've lost a little bit of elasticity over the years. Working our way around to the passenger side. I'll show you some of the goodies that come with the car. This binder has a lot of neat stuff. Now, my hypothesis on this is that it was a dealer plate in 1978, but you can see the 1978 part. It'll go with the car, but the new owners caution they're not going to be able to register those plates to this car. But the owners are happy to send that out, being that it's 1978 noted. So a lot of goodies in this 3-ring binder, showing a lot of originality. We've got each page photographed in our gallery. This is the appraisal. Again, that's in the gallery as well. And some of the business side of things in this file. typical car dealership habit, I would suggest, is that each car has a file. So that's the case for all of the cars we're listing from the Big Guys collection. Good look at the passenger side, Matt. So maybe it's time to have a look at the trunk. So working our way back to the trunk, a couple extra goodies back here as well. The goodies back here consist of a great collection of 8-track tapes. So they'll go with the car. So we got it 6x4, 24. Got to be at least 24 in the cardboard box as well. So probably 50 or so 8-track tapes. And I think that might be just decay from the cardboard box that we see there, flecking on the black carpet. And we've got a spare, which may not have been used either. When I see that blue striping, certainly it would indicate that it hasn't been used. It might even be the original spare that came with the car back in 1978. The labeling for jack usage is back here. Didn't want to spoil what this setup is, but I suspect the original jack is down there as well. But there's a good look at the trunk. So there's a good look at our 1978 Buick Riviera. Again, it's from the 75th anniversary of Buick, so that makes that they made a special edition under 3,000 units, and this is one of them certainly. 1978 with the 403 cubic inch V8 engine, made it to a 3-speed automatic, driving the rear wheels only. Odometer shows under 34,000 miles. We believe it to be true, but have to classify it as true mileage unknown because we're not able to corroborate that. Available from the collection of the Big Guy. Again, if you haven't yet, please do take a look at our website for a little bit of discussion about that and this special collection of cars, some of which we're able to sell for the family. Lot 251, CollectorCarCanada.CA. Thank you for watching, and on to the next car.